Welcome back to the channel for this week's episode. We left off last week with putting the final touches on this first back wall.
Yeah, so basically, like we said before, I think this is going to end up being all cubbies. So essentially that is going to just be like the back of a cabinet almost.
We're jumping in this week with some wood prep so we can start painting. We add some fabric detail to the van, and we begin tackling our electrical wall. So stick around and I hope you enjoy this week's episode.
So basically what we're doing now, we got this stuff here. So this is a bunch of fabric here, and the whole plan with this is to wrap it on the metal of the van here. We weren't quite sure how to do our transition from like obviously van metal to finished walls. So one thing we thought of was, hey, well, what if we do spray adhesive on the metal of the van, and then put the fabric on that, and then when we build our wall, the wall will go on the top of the fabric, and it'll be a nice smooth transition. Give me a little rundown of what we got going on here.
We put the door jamb back on, so it obviously tucked away our edge. We trimmed it and then we tucked it back on, so that looks really good. And then we also just put our panel here, our wall panel. It's not mounted, but it'll fit tight in there, so all of this rough cut stuff is going to be covered as well. We just left it as extra, and it looks really good. It fit all the curves and stuff of the van, so highly recommend using fabric to cover up metal pieces that you don't want.
So you can see, like, we didn't exactly get it tucked up there, and the reason is this is going to be a wall, and then if we were to take this same material and just do like a couple inches right here, so that when we build our box to go around, because our box is only going to come essentially to where my thumb is, and you would see underneath, and this way it would just kind of really flow with that. Otherwise you'd see that, really. This looks amazing. This literally looks like a production van wall. To me it does, at least. I don't know. Welcome back. We're now in the van. So anyway, we got the wall up. Yeah, it's not screwed on, so I have to hold it. So you got a nice factory edge going right here on the front, which is exactly what we wanted.
That's how it lines up with the fabric we put on.
All right, yeah, so we're gonna go inside. We're gonna break out some more paint. We're probably just gonna paint like 2 or 3 inches here.
So we can get a clean edge.
Yeah, mainly so we can get the clean edge, because we don't want to get paint on our material. And the only way we can do that is if we don't paint it when it's on the wall. So we'll just take it inside, paint it quick, bring it out here, zap it on the wall. Let's go. Well, here we are. So the wall's now installed. It looks amazing. You can see essentially right here, that's going to be the finished seam. I think we showed you that before, but now it's actually on the wall. So essentially this right here, that is not a primer. That is our finished paint color for the main area Then this is actually the color of the garage. So those wheel well boxes are also the same color as the garage. Initially we had thought that it kind of matched that a little bit better, but you know what? It looks really good. We're not upset about it. This is going to be the color of the garage mainly so that it can get dirty and we can wash it and it won't stain. So we actually have this stuff here. So it's acrylic latex caulking. Apparently you can paint it in 30 minutes. So we're going to use this. We're going to go around the edge of the wheel well box. The main reason that we're doing this is to get a nice smooth transition from the wall. But the main reason for doing it on the floor is hopefully it'll make it a little waterproof. So if the bikes ever came in and they dripped some water or mud, or say it was winter time, you put some snow boots back there. Maybe if we put this along the floor, it'll allow the water to stay within, more so on this floor area, than going inside our wheel well boxes, because there's not any ventilation in there and it would be hard for it to dry if those ever got wet. It's nice and dry right now. Hopefully it'll stay dry if we put this on it. So we got the walls painted tonight. Now this is only coat 1 of 2, so I don't know the exact name. This is how it looks. It clearly needs one more coat. This is the color it's going to look like in the end. Obviously, you can see it's all blotchy. It's because it just needs another coat of paint. So we want the paint to dry tonight, so we can come back tomorrow, put another coat on, and then the paint should be done.
Okay, so Nick, he painted these lower portions that are nice and they're dark gray. So those are the portions that are going to be in our garage. So the upper part, which is the part that we'll see in the living space, we got like a gray toned white.
Welcome back, guys. Last night we got the second coat of paint on both the rear walls. My plan is tonight, we got a lot of 12-volt stuff to mount. I'll just show you briefly what I'm talking about. This is a 12-volt fuse panel. So this is gonna mount on the wall just like this, and you can see all these different windows. We're gonna have labels on them, and they're just gonna be essentially different circuits. All right, and we're back just like that. The first panel is 100% done. So basically, now that it's got all this on it, I'm gonna take this in the house. This just clips on there like that. And as you can see, that is the finished product. So this one is gonna look the same as this, but it's actually only gonna have this row here. Anyway, I'm gonna go inside, label this, and I'll be back. It's about 9 o'clock at night now. As you can see, that's the front fan, the rear fan, all that good stuff. So yeah, we're gonna use quite a few. Boom! And that is both of our panels installed. I have to wire up the 120, the solar charge controller, and then essentially mount the bus bars, and that's basically the power setup done. So this is it here. We got the 40 amp charge controller. Plan to have 300 watts of solar on the roof. So this charge controller can definitely handle 300 amps. I think it can handle quite a bit more than that actually. Yeah, we'll show you guys more about the power down the road, but this is exciting. I'm very happy that we got all this done today. Morning guys, it's Sunday morning. So what we're doing today, actually this morning, is we're gonna try to get at least one, maybe two solar panels up on the roof of the van. Reason is, we want to install our battery. We want to get our battery installed. We don't want to install our battery with no way to charge it, so we can charge it via solar if we install it. Let's get to it. Basically we made the custom roof rack just because we couldn't afford a roof rack at the time. So any of the companies that make these roof racks, they're awesome roof racks. We'd love to get one, but we just can't right now. It doesn't fit the budget. So we bought two pieces of 1¼ by 1¼ square aluminum tube that are 10 feet long. And I think those cost about $100 for both. And then we've got all the hardware and all the everything else to mount the solar panels on the roof here for about 50 bucks. So I'd say $150, $200 max. We've got this whole roof rack built. It is built to the specs that we need it to be built. I'm gonna get this panel installed because I'm cold. Let's keep going. I've read and heard, you know, you should not use stainless rivets with aluminum. We're doing it because stainless rivets are substantially stronger than aluminum rivets, and in the past I've had personal experience with aluminum rivets coming loose over time, and I'm not risking having a rivet come loose when it holds all of our solar panels on the roof. So we're not risking it. We'll just, you know, if there's a little bit of dissimilar metal corrosion or whatever's gonna happen, that's okay. This is safer in my mind. I'm gonna put a little bit of Sigflex between the two, and then over the heads of the rivets as well, just to make sure that they don't ever leak in the future. So yeah, if they do leak, it's not gonna leak into our van. It'll just leak into these aluminum bars, but we don't want water sitting in those. Right now there is no water in them. We'd like to keep it that way.
This is where we're going to end off this week's episode. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you can get updates every single week. Next week, we'll finish off our electrical wall, and we'll also do the install of our diesel heater. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
All right, well, here we are. Well, bam, our wall's installed. Well, bam. Let's go. It's a messy job, but Becky wants to use her fingers, so. And we're back.
Don't do
that. Okay. Yeah, so we got. So, welcome back. All right, guys.